All right, Shalom. I'd like to start off by saying all praises, honor, and glory be unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakha, Kodash. Double honors to the apostles, bishops, and elders of Great Millstone who rule and teach well. Shalom to you fellow laborers out there doing the work in truth and in sincerity, especially during these times. Shalom to the few Akwaf that believe as well. A hearty shalom to you other laborers and believers that are scattered abroad, even if you're among the heathen, and even like the heathen who are speckled bird Israelites, to the household of faith, which the elect, I want to say shalom to you. I'm with the brother Shakya, and of course I'm the brother Hardab, and basically we just get into what's going on down in Central South America with Babylon, basically stealing Venezuelan resources. And I'm gonna play this video clip for you. And Lord willing, is edifying because as we know that the hegemony of Babylon, which is America, is coming to an end. When you go into the word hegemony, right? You see, I grab it for you. The word hegemony. I spelled it wrong. So hegemony is preponderance, dominance, leadership. So basically, yeah, for a long time, America has been dominating, the other countries, especially, after World War II, when they dropped the bombs on over there on Ammon in Japan. It says who was able to make war with the beast, which is what NATO and the EU. And led by what? America, okay? Which America was Babylon the Great, all right? Which through Babylon the Great, the elites, all right, which are the Chaldeans, the Central Banking families, they have a warring system that they push through America and its allies to go around the earth and destroy these different countries and destroy their leaders and steal the resources, man. Thus leaving the people, in turmoil, So, yeah, that hegemony is coming to an end. All right, let's play a little bit of the clip. And Lord willing, again, it's edifying. I want to say fair use, fair use. Of course, my video is not monetized, only for literary commentary and biblical purposes. So with that, fair use.
They took our oil rights. We had a lot of oil there. As you know, they threw our companies out, and we want it back.
Donald Trump has openly admitted that he wants to take Venezuela's oil. And top officials in the Trump administration have also revealed that the reason that they're waging war against Venezuela is they want to take over its oil. Now, if you know anything about the long history of U.S. meddling in Venezuela and the U.S. government's many coup attempts in Venezuela, this will not come as a surprise to you. Venezuela has the world's largest oil reserves. And U.S. corporations have been desperate to get access to Venezuela's oil ever since back in 2007, when Venezuela's leftist former president Hugo Chavez kicked out U.S. oil corporations and fully nationalized Venezuela's oil industry. This affected three major U.S. oil corporations, ConocoPhillips, Chevron, and ExxonMobil, along with some European oil corporations. And Venezuela said that if these companies wanted to have any business in Venezuela, they could only have a minority stake in joint ventures that would be majority owned by Venezuela's state oil company, PDVSA.
And that's their personal right. All right, this is their country's resources. Whatever has, whatever the land has, whatever the land has as far as resources, that belong to whoever land it belonged to. In this case, it'd be the Venezuelan people, by way of their government, using those resources to translate into wealth, for the the Venezuelan people. But of course, Esau, Edom, feeling entitled, to Venezuelan oil, show you that this man is very covetous, man. All right, let me grab this real quick. Sirach 14 and 8, it says, the envious man hath an wicked eye. He turneth away his face and despiseth men. Right. And Esau is a very envious or jealous man because he wants everything that's not his. All right. Matter of fact, hold that Habakkuk too on deck, you know? Yeah, you know, he want everything that's not his, man. And he'll stop at nothing to try to get it. All right. And it's mainly through war. All right. Because it's blessing of the sword, man. And this is why you see these many regime changes. All right. They're not behaving the way that, you know, the elites, all right, through Babylon want them to behave, you know. Verse 9, it says, a covetous man's eye is not satisfied with his portion. All right. The Lord gave you a portion. He gave you a kingdom, okay? and a time to rule, man. All right. And when the nation's in power, I mean, the other nations are subjected to it. All right. You become tributaries. So, you know, you've been reaping the benefits of ruling, Esau. Excuse me, but it's not enough. That's why it says in Psalm 73 that their eyes stand out with fatness, which, you know, the word fatness, when you look it up, it goes into basically oil. Matter of fact, let's look it up. Gotta quote it. Just go get it real quick. Because even this blessing, right, you go into the word fatness, it goes into oil as well. All right, so it says Psalm 73 and verse, I'm going to go right to the point, verse 7. We start at 6. Therefore, pride compasses them about as a chain. Violence covered them as a garment. Exactly. And they know, like all the nations know, that the so-called white man bring violence to your land. All right. He's known to do that by way of his military. Okay. Verse 7, it says, their eyes stand out with fatness. They have more than heart could wish. Right. So when you look at that, the word fatness, here we go. The word fatness is chalab. Chalab, it says fat of humans, bees. Nope. The answer would be right here. C. It says choicest, best part, abundance of products of the land. Right. The land has the resources, you know. And that's how you know that the word fatness doesn't mean literal fatness, you know, like in cellulite or obese. No, it goes, it's like a metaphor, man. It's a metaphor, or it symbolizes what? Riches, wealth. How do you get riches and wealth? You get that through resources that you extract from the earth. You know, the earth has the wealth, you know, basically. And he who controls the resources controls the world's wealth. That's why the central banking families, man, which are, you know, the tiny tops, they have so much, you know, wealth because they control the resources. Who do you think pulling the strings on America? All right, those banking families. That's why they do the bidding of them tiny tops. Mm-hmm. You got some out?
You was done with that Sirach 14?
I think I
got one more.
Hold on 1 second. Back in Sirach 14 and 9, it says, a covetous man's eye is not satisfied with his portion, and the iniquity of the wicked drives up his soul. Hey, man, that's iniquity goes to what? Iniquity is wickedness, basically, man.
Sin upon sin.
Sin upon sin. All right, which that's wickedness, man. All right, and pretty much Esau, man. He is the wicked in the earth for one, and he's the one that basically he don't sleep, like it says in Proverbs 4. He don't sleep except he causes mischief, man. Because that's what he's all about, creating mischief. He's all about stealing, you know, from others, you know, spoiling the nations. That's why he's known as what? The son of perdition. You got it out.
Hit that last one on there. There's one more on that Sirach.
Back in Sirach 14, verse 10, it says, a wicked eye envied his bread, and he is a niggard at his table. You want to speak on it?
Right, and what is a niggard? A niggard is a stingy, you know, it goes into a stingy person. Mm-hmm. So everything, basically, you know, what the brother was saying, you know, everything that he knows that you got, he wants it, you know, and you know, as an individual, you know, niggas don't like a stingy person, you know, and the whole world is seeing that this man is a stingy and he's gonna get it by any means. All right, so that's what's gonna cause America to fall, you know, because they're tired of this place, you know.
They call Jake stingy, or they use the word niggardly. They use that during the time of Black Wall Street. They said Jake was being niggardly because the Jake didn't want to do business with the American Edomite. Why would they? You got that.
Habakkuk 2.
Come.
This is Habakkuk 2 and 4. Behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him, but the just shall live by faith. All right, and that's talking about Esau. All right, soul. The Hebrew word soul is going to napash, meaning his inner being. All right, so basically he's a, you know, the way that he moves is totally you know, against the ways of Yahweh Shem Shah. You know, it ain't you know, it ain't fit. How he rules is not fit for a, you know, a righteous kingdom. You know, everybody should be prospering, you know, through this kingdom. You know, but nah, he has it set up to where, you know, you're in debt, or you're paying off something constantly. All right, you got something?
I just run a definition of upright from the online etymology. It says when you go down into it, it says the figurative sense of adhering to or characterized by moral rectitude, good, honest. Yeah, man, them main characteristics of the so-called white man.
Yeah.
Moral rectitude. You know what morals is, okay? Rectitude. We're going to web search this. Moral rectitude means having upright, honest, and correct moral principles and conduct, reflecting an exact conformity to what is considered right, just, and virtuous. I mean, that's telling right there in itself. You know? He's not a just person. You know? We the ones that are the just, right? The Israelites. They're of the hopefully elect. You know, we the ones that's just. We the ones that have real virtue. All right, which is what? Virtue goes into what? Having wisdom. You know? Hey, we get our wisdom from the right hand, the Most High through Yahweh Shai. And while Esau get his knowledge of wisdom through the spiritual demon, the spiritual demon Satan from the left hand side of the Most High. You know? And it says that what? The knowledge of wickedness is not wisdom.
Yeah, spirit. I was about to say that.
Come. It says, often stemming from deep-seated integrity. Esau ain't got no fucking integrity. What kind of man has integrity when you want to fucking so-called go after terrorists, right? And he'll kill 2,000-3,000 or more people, all right? Claiming he trying to get one person that's part of some so-called made-up terrorist group.
All right.
I mean, you call that person just or having integrity?
Or you just, you know, you blowing up, you know, people's boat down there in Venezuela and saying that they had drugs, you know, just assuming they had drugs, you know.
And they were fishermen.
All right.
I mean, it's the devil for you. You got that Habakkuk?
Yeah, I still got it.
Come.
Habakkuk 2 and 5, it says, yeah, also because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home. All right, and this is what Donald Trump is, you know, going in on. You know, what did he just say?
The video clip?
Yeah.
He said Venezuela stolen our oil. They took our oil.
Yeah, and how is that? You know, when they're living there, you know, that don't even make no sense. That's some proud shit. You know, let me go into that word proud real quick. Let me see what it say. Hebrew word is Yara'ar, proud, arrogant, haughty.
Yahayar. Yah, Ra. So Yar. Proud, arrogant, haughty.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
And that's some proud shit, you know. And we know what the Lord said. That's one of the things that He hates, you know. According to Proverbs the 6th chapter, I believe. You know, He talks about a proud look. You know, and this is what that man. This is what that man is doing. You know, having that proud look. You know, all because what he's so called the greatest kingdom, you know, on the earth. So he believes he can do that, and that he's gonna have what the beast to back him up. You know, but guess what? You know, I don't know how this. You know, we don't know how this is gonna go about. You know, but I was seeing, you know, Russia, they were sending troops over there.
Yeah, military equipment.
Kind.
Yep. They sent 200 elite troops, and they sent some submarines. We know they have Poseidon's, they top submarine, and they got S-300s. They somehow sending S-400s over there as well. Also the Arishnik missiles, which they hypersonic missiles. They're like basically like you know, like America got the cruise missiles. They're like hypersonic cruise missiles with way more force. So yeah, man, they can be translated to nuclear, you know, easily.
God is being that
God.
is representing Russia in the scriptures. All right, He's being that
Guard.
that guard, you know, for these other nations, you know. And you know, hey, you know, motherfuckers don't want to just go to war for no reason, because that's a no reason type of thing right there. All right, so that might cause, you know, the EU and NATO to turn on America, you know.
Okay.
I'm just saying that as a man, you know. But it says, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desire as hell. All right, so he's unsatiable, you know. He enlarges his desire as hell. What is hell? It ain't, you know, it's basically the grave. All right, the earth, you know. And that's you can't put a measurement to that. So he can't have enough, basically, you know. Even though he has enough, you know, he has more than what does the scripture say? He has more than
Yeah, I was there. Psalm 73 and verse 7, it says, their eyes stand out with fatness. They have more than heart could wish.
Yeah, they have more than hearts could wish. All right. Hey, if we had that, we wouldn't be out here trying to war with everybody else for more shit. We'd be chilling, you know.
Okay.
We would be chilling. But what, the so-called white man, he can't have enough.
Yep.
That was it on that.
Keep. Man, we'll come back to have cook too.
Okay.
We'll go a little more in the video. Again, fair use.
So with this policy, the Venezuelan government was saying that the oil of Venezuela belongs to the people of the country, not to foreign corporations. However, according to Donald Trump,
And that's absolutely the truth. You know, we were just saying that the oil belongs to the people of that land, the Venezuelan people. How you gonna say that's your oil or they taking your oil? See, and that's them, you know, because their dominance, all right, that they once had, now it's quickly fading. Excuse me. They're doing everything they can to keep, you know, afloat, which Isaiah 24, I think it's Isaiah 24, where it says the hardy people of the earth do languish. Let me see if I get that real quick. Yeah, Isaiah 24 and 4 says that the earth mourneth and fadeth away. The world languisheth and fadeth away. Yeah, so the earth is mourning. The world is languishing. Languish means what? To be approaching death. Let me see here. It says languish. The Hebrew word there is amal. It says to be weak. The earth is fucking weak. You know? So if the earth is weak, the people are weak. The scripture say what? That what? Through the earth grow weaker, or we grow weaker through age. You know, roughly paraphrasing. You know, so basically everyone's getting weaker through age, man. It says Yeah, to be weak, to be or grow feeble. Yeah, that's pretty much the gist of it, man. And you go to the online etymology, that the word language, it means to be approaching death, I believe. I don't know what the hell all this shit on my shit. It's like stuff I don't know what's on there. Where did it come from? Here we go. See, word language.
I got it.
Come on, you bring it up.
Language in the editor line, it says failing strength, exhibit signs of approaching death.
See, there you go. See the signs of approaching death, man. Exhibit signs. All right, exhibit means to show signs of approaching death, and we know that this place is approaching death, right? Everything in this place is collapsing. You know. Now it says back in Isaiah 24, and in verse 4 it says, "The haughty people of the earth do languish." Haughty goes to what? Proud. All right. The haughty people are the Edomites. That's in power. And it begins with the Amalekites, which are the elites of the Edomites, the top or head or chief of the Edomite nation. You know? And they're languishing. This is why they doing everything in their power to afford their agenda. Because why? Their moment is almost up. You know? But let's play a little more of the clip. All right, let's get more of that. Again, fair use.
Venezuela's oil belongs to the United States. Trump was asked about this by a journalist who pointed out that Trump has declared a full-on naval blockade of Venezuela to try to prevent Venezuela from exporting its oil to China, to starve Venezuela of oil revenue to try to cause an economic crisis that leads to regime change. So this reporter directly asked Trump if the goal of the naval blockade is to bring about regime change in Venezuela. And Trump responded by saying that Venezuela's oil belongs to the U.S., that U.S. corporations want to get access to that oil, and they want to control Venezuela's land. Listen here to this clip.
Yeah, let's get that Psalms real quick. Psalms chapter, I believe it's 10. Yeah, Psalms chapter 10 and verse 3. It says, "For the wicked boasted of his heart's desire, and blessed the covetous whom the Lord abhorred." See? And you read the NLT, it says, "For they brag about their evil desires," and that's what Trump is doing by saying that Venezuelan oil is America's is crazy, man. It says they praise the greedy and curse the Lord. Yeah. Who are the greedies? Who are the greedy ones? The greedy ones are the elites. And under them you got the billionaires, all these different the Elon Musk of the world, you know, the Gil Bates of the world, you know, all these different individuals, Jeff Bezos of the world, that have not only wealth beyond measures, but they have enough, wealth to just, leave their other shit to other people. But they want everything. And whatever they least don't want, they let their lower luminaries get. You know? It says, that's the one that cut. Let's grab that Micah 2. You sure or not?
Surah 21.
Bring it up.
Surah 21, verse 4.
21-4?
Mm-hmm.
Bring it out.
Surah 21-4. To terrify and do wrong will waste riches. Thus the house of the proud man shall be made desolate.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And, so this is why, Esau, Edom, so-called white man's kingdom is going to fall. Because what? They're all about, war. All right? On how, easily they can, set up something to where they're trading with Venezuela, making some type of deal with them. But now they want to take the route of war, all right? And they want to cause the economy over there to fail, to where next thing you know, hey, the regular old civilians, they're going to be, more through,
Yep.
So you're doing wrong. All right, and y'all about Shem Shah seeing that. All right, and that's what's gonna cause what the translation of kingdoms, being turned over to who? The so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans under Yahweh Shem Shah. All right,
Read verse 8.
verse 8. Sirach 21:8. He that buildeth his house with other men's money is like one that gathereth himself stones for the tomb of his burial.
So that's not his wealth. The oil and other resources, because they got lithium in Venezuela too. Because a lot of Central and South America has lithium, and lithium is what they need for that for all the EV vehicles. All right, because lithium is known to hold a longer charge than other things that are what you call it, I forget the term. But basically, lithium holds a charge longer than other, things they can use, like copper, or whatever they use, to make battery with, cobalt, or whatever. So they hold a longer charge and they long lasting, where EV, you don't have to charge it as much. This is why lithium batteries cost way more than the average battery. I forget the term, Shalaki. It's a term, I know it too. But it's a way to transfer energy. And hold energy, process it. But anyways, though, that's the point, though. The oil of Venezuela, belongs to Nicolas Maduro and the people of Venezuela. All right. So you're trying to build your house, they're trying to build back America. America is failing. America is finished. These are the last days, weeks, months, whatever you want to be. You know what I'm saying? Of this place, man. The Lord is taking this place out rapidly, man. Instead of worry about internal issues that's going on, they worry about, going to, other places and stealing people's belongings, man, or resources, man. All right, because why? It's in the power of their hand. Let's get that Micah 2. Micah 2, in verse 1, it says, "Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it because it is in the power of their hand." And this is simply the reason why they're doing that. Right? It's in the power of their hands, meaning what? They have the power to war with the nations. And this is nothing new that, they do all these, coups and regime change and assassinating different leaders of other countries. It's no secret they do that. All right, especially over here in Central South America, on the islands, this is a normal or business as usual. It says verse 2, "And they covet fields and take them by violence and houses." Now we know this right now. They covet the fields of Venezuela, and then by them putting a naval blockade out there, that's what bringing about violence. Because what could come out of that? When you got your naval warship in somebody else's water, violating their territory, or sovereignty in itself. It says, "And they covet fields and take them by violence, and houses and take them away. So they oppress a man and his house, even a man and his heritage." Right? It's already been done that as far as what they took from us, our heritage, and the Lord had to give us our heritage back. Because the Venezuelan people are Israelites. I believe they have the Naphtali, I believe. Okay, but it ain't enough just to rule over us. You got to afford the affliction of our people, because they already had a crisis down in Venezuela years ago, where they had to eat. They were eating fucking animals out the zoo, and also they was fucking doing cannibalism, man. That was blacked out of the news media because they had sanctioned Venezuela so bad. And when you sanction a country or put heavy tariffs upon a country, all right, or the goods of another country, that hurts the people more. Okay? That hurts the people more. But the scripture say what? Like we was in Sirach 14, it says what? He that is evil to himself, to whom would he be good? So we don't expect you to do good, especially to our people. You know? Let's play a little more. We're going to get ready to close.
Listen here to this clip. Unfortunately, the audio quality was very low because Trump was speaking right next to a plane that was very loud, but I added subtitles to Trump's very revealing admission here.
Just a blockade. Not going to let anybody going through that shouldn't be going through. You remember they took all of our energy rights. They took all of our oil from not that long ago, and we want it back. But they took it. They illegally took it. Getting land, oil rights, whatever we had, they took it away because we had a president that maybe wasn't watching. But they're not going to do that. We want it back. They took our oil rights. We had a lot of oil there. As you know, they threw our companies out, and we want it back.
Now, note how in that...
I mean, that's so arrogant and proud, man. That's so arrogant and proud, man. I mean, no other way to put it. Let's get that. Can you get that? He is accustomed to opprobrious words. I believe it is. Opprobrious. See, can I find it? Why did it come up? Opprobrious words. Opprobrious words. So, you got it.
Sirach 23 and 15.
23:15.
Sirach 23 and 15. The man that is accustomed to opprobrious words will never be reformed all the days of his life.
Yep. Opprobrious mean what? Words that are shameful. All right. How can you say someone stole something from you when it clearly belongs to them Venezuelans down there? But he's using his media to assassinate the character of the leaders. The predecessor, which was my man, he died, Hugo Chavez. You know, then you had Nicolas Maduro that took over. You know, and because they won't consent to do after the manner of what Esau wanted them to do, therefore Esau has demonized them. And this is exactly what the scriptures say about it in Psalm 64 and verse 2. It says, hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity. Right, and that's the Edomites, man. All right, it says, who whet their tongue like a sword and bend their bows to shoot their arrows, even bitter words. Right. And what's a sword? All right, what's a sword and the bow and arrow for? They're instruments of death. You know? They're weaponry. They use their words as weaponry, man. When they speak evil of another country's leader, that's them assassinating your character. You know? To justify them going to your land, murdering the leader, and whoever is aligned with him, and then they set up a puppet government, man, that's going to do the bidding of the elites through America, which is what? Give up their wealth. This is our resources. We're going to control this, while leaving the people of the land, and like I said, they be all piss poor, man. You know. And what does the UN Security Council say about it? Nothing. Because it's Jake down there. You gotta think about it. There's no UN Security Council. I haven't seen one. No UN Security Council when they have a meeting because something's going on in the world, war. It's supposed to be, a unified discussion on what should happen according to the UN Charter. The international base rules. That shit's not abide by. Or they don't abide by that, rather. This is Isaiah 33:1. It says, woe to thee that spoilest, and thou wast not spoiled, and dealest treacherously, and they dealt treacherously, and they dealt not treacherously with thee. Yeah, because going the word spoil, all right, the word spoil or spoilest, the Hebrew word is shaddad. It says to deal violently with. Yeah, despoil, devastate, ruin, destroy. That's what the great spoiler do. The great spoiler is Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. Okay, they deal violently. You know, we read in Psalm 73 that violence covered them as a garment. You know, these are violent people, man. Okay. Devastator, the spoiler. To be utterly ruined, to assault, devastate. Yeah, you get the gist of it. You know, it says, when thou shalt cease to spoil, thou shalt be spoiled, and when thou shalt make an end to deal treacherously, they shall deal treacherously with thee. Excuse me. Which is what? When you go into the word, excuse me, the word treacherously. Let me see. The Hebrew word there is bagad. It says to act treacherously, deceitfully, deal treacherously. Yeah. Strong says transgressor, deceitfully, unfaithful man. Yep. Treacherous men, offend unfaithfully. Let me see the word. Define treacherous. It says guilty of or involving betrayal or deception. Right. The Lord going to cause Obadiah verse what's that, 7?
One.
Yeah, Obadiah. It's only one chapter. Obadiah verse 7, where it says that they that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. Is that 7 or 8, somewhere around there?
Yeah, 7.
Can you read the Bible, Shah?
Obadiah verse 7. All the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. Mm-hmm. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee. Yeah, the Lord gonna cause your allies to deceive you. Babylon. All right. This is what it speaks about that in Revelation the 17th chapter. All right, it should make them hate the whore and burn her with fire. Those 10, which is it goes to the EU because you have the 7 heads and 10 horns. The 10 horns represents EU. You know, that's part of that beast system. NATO and the EU. But in particular, your European allied friends or the ones that's in league with you, they only help destroy you at the end, man. When you cease to spoil, they're gonna help spoil you. And right now, it's already turned that way. You look at it, man. They turned on you, Edomites over here, man. You got Germany collapsing. You got a whole fucking what's that company? Volkswagen or so there's a big German. No, because Germany got the biggest car companies, but one of them is closing down. I think it's Volkswagen. It's Volkswagen or some shit like that. But they're closing down. That's a big deal. It's German engineering. So if Germany got major companies closing down, Europe is gonna fucking, show signs of a weakness too. All right, because Germany is one of the the strong ones in Europe. You go into the part iron and part miry clay. Part iron was that involves Germany having the strong economy, the stronger economies in Europe. They helped up the weaker economies. And the saying is what? If Germany sneeze, Europe catch a cold. So hey, that show you that they failing, man. All right, they failing in strength, man. The Edomite system or power structure is failing, man. Okay, and at the end of the deal, the Lord's going to destroy you. The Lord's going to cause you to be spoiled, man. All right, because you spoiled many nations, man. So, anyways, with that, you got some else? Some more to that.
Come.
It says, and prevailed against thee. They eat thy bread, have laid a wound under thee. Mm-hmm. There is none understanding in him.
Yeah. So that's the end goal for you, man. Your own allies or friends are going to turn on you and help destroy you, man. All right? Because look what you've done. All right? Look what you've done to the different nations, man. You spoiled them, and there was no way they can fight back. Like it says, who was able to war against the beast? So these countries over here, Central South America, they weren't able to fight back towards American dominance. This is why Cuba had to be backed by Russia. Because they resisted the hegemony of America. So anyways, we at the end, man. We're at the end of Babylon the Great, and this is part of the wars, rumors of wars. All right, this is part of the wars, rumors of wars. One of the signs that Yahushua said we're going to see, leading up to his second coming. So it's all befitting prophecy, man. All right. Hey, with that, we're going to close. We'll give all honor, glory, and praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Rachak Kodash. Hey, double honors to the apostles and the elders and bishops of Great Millstone, who rule and teach well. Hey, shalom to you, sincere Akim out there, that are of the hopefully elect. Shalom to the few Akwaf that believe as well. Hey, Lord willing, you see you next video. Lord willing, until next time, we'll say shalom. Shalom. And the Bible ball. Lord willing, next time. Shalom.